Hey guys, it is Plasma Scream, and this week we are finally seeing the return of Injustice 2 Aquaman for the first time in like 4 or 5 years. I have never actually even gotten this character in my life until today. We also have Ares MP season going on right now, but this character, he, since the last challenge cycle, uh, was changed, he was not in our cycle, and the only way to get him was the Aquaman Celebration Pack, which you had to use 300 Nth Metal just to buy, and even then, it wasn't guaranteed to get him. It was only like, I think 15%, maybe 11%, I don't know. We can see it right here. It's still in the store. This useless pack is still in the store. No longer need to buy this anymore because the main character you're trying to get out of it is in the challenge now, but 12.5. Okay, so he was a 12.5% chance to get in the Aquaman Celebration Pack, but you don't have to buy those anymore because Injustice 2 Aquaman's in the challenge, and also Injustice 2 Flashpoint Aquaman is an MP season. But yeah, this really sick character is finally available. I've never actually got him before today. This is my first time ever actually owning him, which is pretty sick. And I've done all kinds of, thinking about how to use them for offense and defense. I got all kinds of ideas to give you guys so you can, use them yourselves however you like. I got all kinds of things, you can try out. All kinds of little tricks to do him. He's not a one-trick pony. There's all kinds of stuff you can play around with him. I got stuff for, has him as a tank, him as a carry, him as support, whatever you want to do. I got offense and defense, But first, let's see what you need to do this challenge. I've already started it just a little bit. Got 2 more rounds left. This is a very weird challenge. They're asking for a Red Sun character and an Arkham character. I have never seen this. Usually it's just like, just named characters, but they're actually asking for a type of character, like a faction. Um, a Red Sun requirement is not anything I've ever seen, and same thing for Arkham. I've seen them asking for regime characters before, but never this. So this is very surprising to see this morning. So if you guys don't have a Red Sun character, which is going to be the biggest problem because you can get Arkham Origins Batman just in the store. That's probably the easiest bet for you. It is very expensive. It's 375,000 credits, I think, but that would be your easiest bet. However, a Red Sun character is not guaranteed to get. That is a lot harder. And if you don't have them yourself, you may have to spend the skips right here. You may have to skip the matches in order to get past the challenge too. But if you're not interested in that and, maybe trying to get lucky, there are some options for you. Number one, there are 3 Red Suns you can get from the Gold Booster Pack. There is Red Sun Superman, Red Sun Wonder Woman, and Red Sun Solomon Grundy. But they are very low chance to get. You can get them at 2.25% chance each. So you gotta get lucky to get these. But that is an option. I don't normally advocate for these, but you can get Red Sun Green Lantern from the Nth Metal Pack. So is that. I'm kind of annoyed that they didn't put like the Red Sun pack in the store right now, or like last week. That would have made sense if they were going to bring this challenge back and they were asking for Red Suns. It would be kind of nice. You could just buy the Red Sun pack, get yourself a Red Sun, even if it was for real money. You could just do that and you'd be able to play the challenge. But they didn't do that. It's kind of annoying. That would have been really sick, but I guess you can either get lucky, like those packs I just said, or you can just skip. Either way, it's probably going to cost you some kind of credits, some kind of currency, whether it's metal or just credits. But, that is the challenge. Let's talk about how to use them. So, I have some ideas on how to use them. I've never actually had them before, so, I've never been able to test these until today. But I do have some ideas. Number one is you could use him as a carry. He has a 4 hit, potential 3 KO, special 2. It does chain from the Master's Death Cart, though it's a little weird. From what I've seen, it only consistently works with Heart of Darkness. I did get it to work with Ibistic in the story mode, but it did not work in multiplayer, so that was strange. And the same thing for Demonic Cloak. I did not see that work for Demonic Cloak in either story or multiplayer. But this I have seen work in both. This will chain from Master's Death Cart when you tag in and you immediately try to go for a special 2. That will connect. But if it doesn't connect, because like you're using something else, what will happen is you'll hit the first hit, that will chain, but then the second and third, they won't chain. It's very strange. I suppose maybe it doesn't matter if you get the KO in the first hit, but like, I don't know. So that's what I would do if I was using it as a carry. Alternatively, if you don't want Heart of Darkness, you could just do this. This is perfectly fine. Just do Demon Blade, Tainted Totem, and then Race Gold Scimitar. That way you start with 2 bars guaranteed, and you can, if you use max crit chance, you would get guaranteed crit on each hit, a special 2, which again, 4 hit, potential 3 KO, pretty good. However, with that said, it is a very long special 2, very long, and there is a meter burn attached to the final hit. Now it's on the final hit, not the first hit, so that's nice. However, if anybody happens to block his special 2 in the middle of the animation once or even twice, you are going to have such a long fight, and it's not even your fault. It'll just be the fact that his special 2 run time is just so long. So you might have to use special 2 or 3 times, because realistically, a lot of times, it's just not going to kill the full team with one special 2. So if you have to use 2 or 3, it's going to be a really long fight, So that's why, you can use him as a carry, but, I just want to let you know, what you can expect. I have some other, ideas too. You could use him as support. I do like the idea of a support that is kind of hard to kill with, DOT and such. Say, because, let's talk about the kind of, threats you would fight on your offense matches, right? Say you're going to fight, a Arkham Knight Catwoman, or a Batman Ninja Lord Joker, just characters that have or maybe a Batman Ninja Catwoman, someone who's got really strong DOT, and maybe you're you can't tag into your carry for whatever reason, because they have a Batgirl Arkham Knight, or they have whatever, just some kind of match where you have to play kind of passive, or maybe someone tags in with an Astral Harness user, and you got to take a special, because you can't stop them from using specials. You can't power drain them. You can't hit them. None of that. They're gonna hit you with a special. Nothing you can do about it. I kind of like the idea of if you get hit with some powerful DOT with your support, you can just send it right back to them. Because I gotta mention, if I haven't said this yet, his passive is super sick. I should have said this earlier. If he gets hit with a special, whether it's special 1, special 2, or even if he gets hit with some kind of DOT that comes from a basic or a Savage Robin going across the screen, anything like that, any kind of DOT that gets on him, if he uses a special, it doesn't have a special 1, it can be special 2, either one. If he then goes for a special, he will cleanse himself of that DOT. He will no longer be taking damage over time. And then he will then take that DOT that he was suffering from, and he will turn it onto the opponent. Does not matter if it was the original opponent that put that DOT on him. Whoever is in front of him that eats that special, they will now start taking that same DOT that he was taking, except it will be 2 times damage. It will be double damage. And this has amazing synergy with Quake Engine, especially if you use his special 1, which will get even stronger with Quake Engine from the bleed, because then the DOT will last even longer and will be able to be re-triggered either onto that same opponent, assuming they don't just die, or their teammate who tags in after, because presumably you did so much DOT to them that they just died. So what you can possibly do is, if you take some strong enough DOT, you could just kill 2 whole people on the opponent's team, with the DOT alone that they tried to put on you, which is sick. And I think that's super cool for any kind of role you use on them, as a carry or a tank or a support. I think that's so cool. I cannot ignore it. It has to have some kind of usefulness, right? So I think it's just too good not to use for that purpose alone in some way, whether it's offense or defense. I think we should definitely try to use this. But I got some ideas. So you could just use this for a standard support setup. You could do that. Maybe you could want to do something like this right here. This would be perfectly fine. If he feels a little squishy for you, this is also good. This is perfectly good. These are good options to use him as a support. If you wanted to use him as a tank, I have some options too. You could do Astro Harness, Let's Go Helmet, Quake Engine. I think you should a lot of times have Quake Engine on. I think that's just the best gear to use on him. It's so good. The fact that you can just have that DOT that he puts back onto the opponent re-triggered and potentially put onto a second opponent and basically just knock out, 2 people with just their own DOT. Even if he's like Elite 0, I think that's just sick. So this is an option right here if you want to make him a tank. Let's go from it, keep him squishy, keep him from being squishy. Keep him tanky, and then Astro Harness will protect him. Another cool thing I want to mention with Astro Harness, if he has a power shield put up when he reaches these thresholds at 100%, 50%, and 10%, the little barrier. If he has an Astro Shield put up for those thresholds and he was hit by a special that did DOT on him, and that DOT put him into one of those thresholds, right? Even if he has the invincibility with the barrier up, he is still actually taking away from the DOT, and he can still use a special to send off the DOT on him and put it back on the opponent. Even if he's not actively taking damage because there's a shield up, he can still do that. So Astro Harness and Quake Engine have amazing synergy, and we'll talk about that in defense later. Another thing you can do if you want to use him as a tank, maybe you want a Resurrection, right? So you can still do this. 4th World Set, and then Quake Engine. That way you still have Quake Engine, and now you have Resurrection too. So that's really good. So that is options you could use for, as a support, as a tank, and as a carry. There's one more thing I want to mention. This is probably your a really good setup if you wanted to use them with, say, let's give an example, right? Let's say you want to use them with a utility carry, because if you want to make any character work, and because you just like them for whatever reason, you really cannot go wrong with just pairing them with utility carry. You can't. It'll always work, because someone like Arkham Orange Batman, they're just so good that whoever you want to use them with, it just works. It'll work fine. It'll work great, honestly, because he's so good that it doesn't matter who you use him with, the team's gonna work. So anyone you like, anyone you think is cool, anybody you want to use, just pair them with Arkham Orange Batman, and you'll have a great team just by default, just ready to go. Where is my totem? There it is. I'm trying to hide it from me. And then, because I have Enchantress on Batman, I like to do Astro Harness, and then 4th World and Harley. If you're wondering, Suicide Squad Harley Quinn and other Suicide Squad characters will actually add an additional Enchantress skull to your Enchantress users, in this case AO Batman. So instead of him having 3 skulls that fly around him, he'll have 4, and whenever he uses a special, those 4 skulls will fly out instead of just 3, which is extremely useful when you use Claw Horse. And also it just does a crap ton of damage, because my Batman is max crit damage, so whenever he gets a crit special too, those skulls are going to hurt like hell, and possibly even just knock somebody out without you even having to do anything, because of how strong they'll be, especially when you have 4 skulls instead of 3. So that's why you see I have Harley and Batman, if you're wondering. But because Batman does not use the Massive Death card himself, you can use it on someone like Injustice Aquaman, and this setup right here would be very, very, very good. Because with these teams, when I'm using Arkham Orange Batman, one of the most annoying teams I have a problem with is Arkham Knight teams, with Arkham Knight Catwoman and Batgirl. If you have if you have Injustice 2 Aquaman versus like the Catwoman, you can't knock out the Catwoman, because then Batgirl will tag in and get the stun on you and then just one-shot you with whatever scary gear she's using, like Cloak of Destiny, Necron Scythe, and League of Assassin Knives, and that's really terrifying. And so that's why you gotta play so carefully versus those teams. You don't want to, play aggressively and sloppily get yourself killed. So I think what would be cool is if you use Injustice 2 Aquaman when you're fighting those teams. This is something you can use too, to help you take the special. Because Elite 0, or if he's promoted a little bit, he'll be kind of squishy. He could take the special from Catwoman, and then that would be really, really strong DOT. That would be really powerful DOT put on the Aquaman, and he can just take it right off with the use of his passive. And then now Catwoman is taking crazy DOT, which is like even stronger because of Quake Engine And then what you can just do, and you can just tag in your Harley at this point, because they're probably going to get knocked down to 1 HP from how strong his DOT would be at that point. And you can safely put the with them at 1 HP, safely hit them with a basic, and then make the Batgirl tag in. And the funny thing is, if Batgirl does not have an Astro Harness, when she tags in, now she's going to take the DOT because of Aquaman's passive and Quick Engine. Now she's going to take the DOT, and now she's going to get rotted down to really low HP, if not just 1. So now Aquaman at Elite 0, probably no augments. I should mention, if he is crit augmented, that DOT he is putting on people, it can crit. So you can make it even stronger if you wanted. But just Elite 0 or Elite 2, it'd probably be like, if you use this team right here, it'd be like Elite 2, maybe 2, 9, 0, like how it is right now, but just Aquaman a little higher promoted. That would probably be enough to get enough battle rating. But yeah, just a very low promoted, if promoted at all, and just do Aquaman would be just taken out over, just 2 people on a scary Arkham Knight Batgirl team, and that would be just sick. I think I like that idea a lot. But that's for offense. Let's talk about defense. Okay, let's talk about defense. So obviously, Aquaman is a Justice League character, and so Shazam would be a really good fit. The second option is, who to use with him. Do you have to do Black Adam? Do you use Flashpoint Aquaman? Do you use Batman Laughs? I think all these will be good picks. Kind of want to talk about these. Kind of got a feeling for Red Lantern too, in some way. So let's go for some gears, right? I think, in my opinion, you should always have probably Astro Harness and Quick Engine on your Injustice 2 Aquaman. Then I have some other ideas for the last gear. I think a Batman Ninja helmet would be pretty cool. Then you get some damage reduction from the Shazam and the helmet, as you see here. Some the more power you gain, the more damage reduction you have. And that would be really nice, because then the DOT he would be taking from opponents would not do as much damage to him. But then he can just take his power and just use it in the form of a special 1 and send it back to the, or special 2, and send it back to the opponent. And then they're taking just a crazy amount of damage. And now you have like a kind of like a tank that can also be very scary as well. And even if he's not taking like specials, because people, like, maybe someone's smart, right? Maybe somebody knows what his little deal is all about, and like, I'm not going to use a special against this guy, that's going to get me killed. Well, if he's like crit augmented and he's promoted and he's got Quick Engine, his DOT from his special 1 is still going to hit very hard and hurt very bad. And even if they try to like tag out, it's going to re-trigger onto the next opponent and do just a whole bunch of damage. So, and I know this is going to happen because I have a crit augmented Flashpoint Aquaman, and I do that strategy with him. And even though he's only Elite 4, because his max crit, that special 1 DOT, that it really, really hurts. If you got a max crit Aquaman, that DOT from Trident Toss, it will hurt. It can KO people easily. You do not need Flashpoint Batman. It will do serious damage. So please trust that all you need is crit augments and Astro Harness and Quick Engine, and that Aquaman will pull the weight on the Shazam team easily. But that is Ninja Helmet. I think that'd be cool. I think also this would be sick too. This is what I use on my Flashpoint Aquaman team. The one I used a little bit ago with Black Adam and Shazam, and that worked tremendously. Again, without even using Flashpoint Batman on the team, that worked extremely well. And the cool thing about this, you may have seen this before. If you are using the Master's Death Cart and you fight someone who uses Ninjato, and you use a special 1 or 2 on that Ninjato user, it'll have this weird interaction where they'll start like taking a bunch of hits and you'll like gain your power back. If you have a DOT gear on that Death Cart user, and when you hit them with a special 1 or 2 on that Ninjato user, they'll like take a whole bunch of like DOT applications, like way more. Like normally it would just be 1 because you hit them with 1 special. They'll for some reason take a whole bunch of DOT. So here's an idea, right? And this works extremely well because you have Astro Harness protecting you, so you don't just get killed by all that DOT. This will protect you. If this happens, the Ninjato user will actually gain power from the Master's Death Cart, but then Aquaman will also be taking a whole bunch of DOT. But then because he gained power, he can just send the DOT off of him with his passive. and he gets basically a free bar of power, and he can utilize his passive to get rid of the DOT on him, send it back to the opponent, and because he got put so much DOT on him from the Master's Death card, and presumably something like the Ibis, but it could be something like League of Assassins, the Adept Blade, or League of or Let's Go Helmet, that can work too. This works with both of those gears. Can make him like take a bunch of DOT like that. He can take that DOT that he got from those gears from the opponent and send it back to them, and it will do so much freaking damage. It will probably just easily drop them to like 1 HP so fast, and then do the exact same to the next opponent if they try to tag out or if they get KO'd. So that Injustice 2 Aquaman, just as the tank, not even as a carry, as the tank, could easily just wipe out 2 whole teammates on someone's team. I mean, the tank on a defense team, ideally, they want to be able to stall time. If they can get KOs, that's cool. But if you have a tank that is able to pull their weight and get potentially multiple KOs, that is awesome. That is amazing, and we love that. That will be sick. So I'm gonna give you some ideas on characters to use them with. So if I use that, I would probably have something like this. Where is my Red Lantern? I had an idea earlier. Let's do something like this, okay? So because he has Astral Harness, I want to do something like this. Okay, Batman Ninja Helmet. Gingo Soda, Calico Companion card. This makes Red Lantern invincible. He always has 3 bars. And then with Shazam, I would do the Master's Death card. Right here. Tangent Totem. Probably the Ibistic. I think Necron Scythe, if I had it evolved, would work too, right here. But this is good as well. Funnily enough, you would actually have DOT from all 3 people. With this setup, you would have Ibistic DOT, you would have Red Lantern, Special 2 DOT, see the burning, and you would have Aquaman's Special 1 DOT, and any DOT the opponent puts on him. So I think this little team right here would be sick, and I'm kind of excited just looking at this. Also, it just looks kind of aesthetically pleasing with the red and the blue and the green. It really looks cool. But what else can we do here? What else do we got? Let's do Black Adam, right? So this is the team that I used the other week, except Flashpoint Aquaman was here instead of Injustice 2 Aquaman. So let's do the same gears, go tank gears, and then Tangent Totem on Black Adam. This way he is extremely tanky and he can perform as a carry. And then I have Shazam. We are going to give him probably 4th world set like this, and then Master's Death card. There we go. That is probably the best gear setup you can use on Shazam if he is not the carry. And then the same gears on just do Aquaman. I think that would be a super sick team like that for defense. That would probably work very well. And I can definitely say confidently that would work well because I have used this exact same team except Flashpoint Aquaman, and it worked wonderfully. I got 20 wins in a row in one season. Not one single character got KO'd, and not one loss happened the entire season. It was amazing. So I bet even though Flashpoint Aquaman has the water shield, he is a little bit more tanky. Justice 2 Aquaman would still be very, very good on this team. So let's see, what else can I do? Can I do something like this, where I use him as a carry, right? So I think you could do this too, where you do Astral Harness, Tangent Totem, Quick Engine, and that Quick Engine will still have really good synergy with Shazam, Master Death card, and Special 2 cannot normally knock out more than one person, but it can if the opponent is bleeding, and then bleed would come from Aquaman. So that would be a really good combo. And then for Black Adam, you can either do Ninjato in this last slot, and you should generally usually have Ninjato on somebody on every defense team, every serious defense team. Of course, you can always do Gingo Soda. The main reason you want Ninjato is for the Master's Death card users and any stray like League of Assassin, Adept Knives people. Maybe someone tried to use like 4th world set with a mace and they try to go for Special 2. It really helps you not get like just easily farmed by the AoE. Like you can have a seriously good defense team, but if you don't have Ninjato, someone can just cheese you because they have AoE, and it's so annoying. Even if you have a good tank like this, or Flashpoint Aquaman or Red Lantern, you just get cheesed because of this stupid AoE. It's very broken, but Ninjato helps you out there. So that will be a good team right there. Let me show the viewers one more time. But what else can we do? I kind of said something about Batman last year, but I want to try him out. is I'm going to pull out my Batman right here. I do not have him promoted yet, but I wish I did. Unfortunately, the game is mean to me and does not want to give me like 3 Batman But let's see what we got here. I think you could probably do something like this with you could do this, right? You could do Batman Laughs with Batman Engine Helmet, Quick Engine. You could also do maybe this instead. But this is a tough dilemma, right? So Batman Laughs wants Quick Engine badly, right? He's a Joker. Quick Engine has an amazing interaction with Jokers, makes it so they can't tag out. If you have like DOT characters and gears, that's even better because they can't get away from the DOT. But Batman Laughs wants Quake Engine, so does Justice 2 Aquaman. He really wants Quake Engine really bad. But like you could just do this. But then here's another thing. I don't think I like the idea of Batman Laughs without the Master's Death Cart or Astro Harness, so that makes a bit of a dilemma. So honestly, you might have to just deal with not having Quick Engine on Batman Laughs, because this is a really good setup for Aquaman. I should also give a gear to Shazam. And that's another thing. You generally want like Master Death Card and Shazam if possible, but in this case, you would want it on Aquaman, so you would have to do maybe the Ibis Stick or alternatively, Hard Darkness. So that would be Shazam's gears, and you have Aquaman's gears, and then Batman Laughs. If I were to give him one more, would it be so bad if you use something like this? This still gives you Ninjato. This would give Batman Laughs a crazy amount of health. I think that would make him pretty good. That's an option right there. But I bet if you did something like this, let me get it out. If you just use like Ibis Stick on Batman Laughs, right? Because here's the cool thing right here. If Batman Laughs tags in after someone else on his team has tagged in before him, so if Aquaman tags in as just one time, and then Batman Laughs tags in after him, and Batman Laughs with Master's Death Card and a DOT gear, if he goes for a special 1 or 2, it will apply just a crap ton of DOT from this gear onto the opponent. And you can try this out yourself. All you need to do is just tag in somebody else at least once, and then Batman Laughs afterwards at any point, and he will do that. So that can allow him to tag in and apply a whole bunch of DOT that can crit if he is crit augmented, and that would allow him to really perform well as technically a tank here with Ninja Helmet. But then if you use Ibis Stick on him, I would use probably Heart of Darkness. So that would be a good pick too. Honestly, kind of thinking about Fourth World Mace. I haven't tested this season, a little bit last season too. It has been winning. I want to test this out more, but I don't know if I want to advocate that just yet. I need to test that some more. So that is another team right there with Batman Laughs. So I'm going to show the gears one more time for that team. I think that'd be pretty good. Of course, you can also do Ninjato, which you generally should, but I do like how this looks. This might be good too, honestly. You might not even need Ninja Helmet. I think Ninjato and Ibis Stick would be pretty cool too. That's just up to you. You can test it out. But I think all those are good options. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, I think I wanted to try a team of both Aquamans. I think that'd be pretty cool. So let me go get him. And on this team, I'd probably use just Flashpoint Aquaman as just in general a tank with Ninjato. And then, yep, that's right. And then this team, because I'm not using Death Card, I would actually put it on Shazam. Because although Injustice 2 Aquaman can use it, he does not need to. And so there you go. That would be Flashpoint Aquaman. Those are very good gears. Same thing for Injustice 2 Aquaman. You got DOT coming from both of these guys, so that would be sick. Be very hard to get away from that, especially with both of them doing it. And you got Quake Engine 2, that would just be super sick. Just both Aquamans constantly throwing out special 1s, and then just at any point, Shazam can tag in with special 2, get 2 bars, and just drop potentially more than one person maybe even 3 if you're lucky, because the bleed will allow him, special 2, to knock out multiple people. So that'd be another cool team you can use. I just want to see if there's anything else I had to think about here. Any other ideas? I'm just scrolling through here. I think that's it. I'm just looking here. Maybe probably something cool you can do here too. I'm not gonna lie to you. Maybe even this too. You know what? Let's see what we got here. Let me cook here. Okay. Let me see what I got. I'm gonna do some wild gears here, right? So this is what you generally would do with in Flashpoint Aquaman, but let's see. Could you do it with Injustice 2 Aquaman? How would that look? I think honestly, this could be good right here. This would probably be the most sense, but I like to have Quick Engine on him at all times. So that would be either one of these. I think could work. This would probably make the most sense, but I think Quick Engine is just so good on him that it's you almost never want to not use it, right? It's too good. But yeah, maybe that'd be good. So that's his gears, Nightwing right there, and Shazam. Yep, this is the team you would use with Flashpoint Aquaman, Nightwing, and Shazam. However, you get Injustice 2 Aquaman slotted instead. That don't know if it'd be quite as good, but I bet it'd be pretty good. But yeah, that is about all I can say about Injustice 2 Aquaman. There are all kinds of ways I do believe you could use him as a support, tank, carry, offense, defense. I think he's got all kinds of neat little tricks you could try out with him. That's my time. Okay. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys learned something today. This is a very cool character and a character we've not seen in the challenge cycle for many years. So this is all new to me. If it is new to you guys, it's the same for me. So I'll be having fun testing them out and trying them out. Hope you guys will do the same. Hope you guys learned something today and you had a nice time, watching and learning all the cool little tricks you can use with Injustice 2 Aquaman for offense and defense. But that is all I want to say today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.